ask the questions and here are the answers.
Can you listen to music in the lunchroom?
No, we cannot listen to music during lunchtime because the noise volume will get too high and it'll be difficult to hear everybody when they have questions, and it'll be hard for the students to hear the teachers and supervisors giving instructions.
Can we sit by people we want to sit by every day from other classes? Why can't we just sit wherever we want?
So we know where you are and we can dismiss in an orderly fashion.
We have to pay for our lunch and then we have to pay extra to get extra food too.
Paying for a meal in the cafeteria is just like going to a restaurant. When you order the food, you have to pay for the cost, just like we have to pay to buy the food, for somebody to cook the food and clean up afterwards.
How is there artwork hanging in the cafeteria, and how was it selected?
Why is there artwork hanging in the cafeteria? If you remember down the ramp, we had artwork hanging that's student work for 5th graders that showed exemplary work. And we wanted to showcase that in the cafeteria so that when parents came up for programs, they could see the students' work. So that's why it's done there in the cafeteria.
Why is water bottles are not included with lunch?
Water isn't included in the meal because it doesn't have any nutritional factor. It's good to keep you hydrated, but it doesn't have any nutrients in it.
Why are 4th graders the last ones to eat?
Boys and girls, 4th graders happen this year to be last to eat just because that's the way our school schedule worked out. So next year, a different grade level will probably be last. But the great thing about having 4th graders or 5th graders being last at lunch is that they are our older role models, and you can wait until later in the day to eat lunch. And our littler kids, they need to probably eat a little bit earlier. So I hope that clears things up for you.
Why do we have to raise our hand to get a drink or go to get things we need?
You need to raise your hand in the cafeteria so you can be helped in an orderly manner.
Can you bring in lunch from a restaurant where parents come?
Can I bring restaurant food to Chin's cafeteria? Well, you can't, but your parents can. And whether that's McDonald's or Hardee's or Wendy's or whatever it may be, I would ask that it would be a healthy choice. So yes, if your parents come to Chin to eat lunch with you, they could bring you in Arby's or something like that. But I would ask that they make healthy choices for you.
Why can't we talk to people at other tables or turn around and talk to our friends?
For safety, for noise level, and for using your manners.
Why did you change the rules from last year by adding extra rules?
Last year and this year, every year is different. So when we have rules and when we start up a year, we always think about what's best for our Chin Panthers. So sometimes rules or expectations are changed or tweaked just a little bit, so things will get better and better every year. So if you think that the rules have changed, maybe some of the things have just a little bit, but that's only because we want what's best for all of our Chin Panthers to be safe, respectful, responsible problem solvers.
Can we get water from the drinking fountain? Where do we go to get water?
Yes, you can have a drink from the water fountain from the cafeteria during lunchtime.
Why do we need a restaurant pass to go to the bathroom? Why do we need to wear it?
You need to ask permission to use the restroom during lunch so that the supervisors in the lunchroom know where you are at all times, and you need to wear the pass so that teachers in the hallway understand why you are out of the cafeteria.
Why does the food we eat have to be made of wheat?
The food we have is whole grain, which meets dietary guidelines, so has more fiber and more nutrition.
Can you explain the process of how we dump trays and stacking trays at the lunch window?
The reasons why we stand in line to dump our trays to prevent accidents to happen for safety reasons. We also don't want to leave any food in the trays for the lady on the dishwasher. She would appreciate if you scraped them. And it's just all about respect and responsibility.
Why do we have to be quiet in the lunchroom?
The last question I was asked is, why do we have to be quiet in the lunchroom? And let's think about it. There's about 200 boys or girls in there at one time, and if we're really, really loud and we have to get out for a fire drill or we have a lockdown, it's it's going to be really hard for you to hear. So that's one reason why we need to be quiet in the cafeteria. Another reason is if you're sitting by somebody and they can't hear you and you have to scream, that's very frustrating. And when you go to a restaurant, is it really loud? Is there a lot of screaming and yelling going on? Absolutely not. We want lunch to be an enjoyable experience, not only for you, but for everybody around you. So those are some of the reasons why we want you to be quiet. Now, it doesn't mean you can't talk. And what we talk about, rule-wise, is talking around each other. So you're not going to yell over at your friend, hey, hey, hey. You're going to talk within your circle of groups. So like 4 to 5 people you can talk around. And just have some good, fun conversations.